be reading from. The book that we'll be referring to is Words of My Perfect Master by Tongkhor Rinpoche, and we are covering the subject of karma. The negative karma we have covered up to last week, so we are going to cover the positive karmas. So please listen to the following teachings with the proper ayana motivation, which is to attain enlightenment for the sake of all sentient beings. So whatever activity we are doing, be it chanting a mantra or meditating or listening to a Dharma talk, do that with the intention that by listening to this Dharma talk, by engaging in this virtuous activity, such as Dharma talk or prostration or taking refuge, so on and so forth, and then I could be able to attain enlightenment for the sake of all the sentient beings. So I'm learning this, I'm attending this class so that I can learn something new, so that I can become a completely enlightened Buddha, so that I can help countless sentient beings. So I will be talking for around 1 hour, as I normally do. But the gist of what I'm going to say. So the gist of the summary of what I'm going to say is basically the 10 positive karmas, right? The 10 positive actions, and 10 positive actions is nothing other than the opposite, the opposite of the 10 negative karma or the negative actions. So I'm going to talk about the three positive actions pertaining to the body, 3 positive actions pertaining to the mind, and the 4 positive actions pertaining to the speech or verbal. So, so sometimes it is called positive action. Sometimes you can. So positive action, positive karma, virtuous activity, they are all same things. Yeah. Okay. So first we will talk about, just like we begin with the negative karma, negative action, the sinful action, negative action, negative karma. So first, the three acts pertaining to the 3 actions or 3 acts pertaining to the body, right? Which is killing, which is stealing, and which is sexual misconduct. So these 3. So the opposite of which is abstaining from killing, then abstaining from stealing, and abstaining from sexual misconduct. So these 3 are the 3 positive actions pertaining to the body. So if you're looking, if you are if you're referring to the book yourself, if you're looking at the book, the book in English, the pages are 117. So the title of this chapter is known as Positive Actions to be Adopted. So normally we say negative actions, which are to be aborted, or which are to be abandoned or aborted, and the positive actions that has to be adopted. So today we are covering the positive actions that has to be adopted. So as I said earlier, I said that positive action is the 10 positive actions. Positive actions in general mean the 10 positive actions, and 10 positive action is the opposite of 10 negative actions, right? So does that mean not killing, not doing, not lying, not having sexual misconduct? So by itself, is that a good deed, or is that a virtuous action? Is that a positive action? If you ask that question, then it is not. So as the name suggests, it has to be an action, right? So you have to do something. So if you just do not kill, or if you just abstain from, if you just do not kill, if you just do not cheat, steal, or if you just abstain from sexual misconduct, that is not considered a positive action, because there is no action involved. You are just doing nothing, right? So even a stone or a mountain or trees do not get engaged in killing people or stealing from people or this kind of thing. And that doesn't mean the tree is able to accumulate merit or engage in positive actions. So the difference, just like negative actions for which you have to take an action, so for which you have to engage in something, but the positive action to be fulfilled, you actually have to do something about it. So just because you do not kill does not mean you are accumulating positive karma. A good example would be sleeping, right? If you are sleeping, you are not killing anybody, you are not stealing, you are not having sexual misconduct, you're not cheating anybody, you are not lying to anybody, you are not sowing discord. So actually, when you are sleeping, you are most likely doing none of the 10 negative deeds, most likely. So that does not mean you are actually doing a positive thing. Of course, you can do positive, you can accumulate positive karma, you can accumulate merit, you can accumulate virtue during the sleep, but just because you do not engage in a negative karma does not mean you are engaging in a positive karma. So merely not doing anything bad is inaction. It's not an action. So for for a karma, then the meaning of karma is action, right? Action. You have to do something, you have to perform something, you have to engage in something. So inaction is not action. So therefore, not killing someone, just because you do not kill someone, this does not, is not sufficient to, just not killing someone merely is not equal to a positive karma. So instead, what you have to do is, when you are given the chance, when you are given the opportunity to kill someone, to harm someone, to hurt someone, abstain from it. Do not do it. And in addition, you must give protection to someone, help someone, lift someone up. So instead of pulling down someone's life, if you lift that person's life up, then you are actually engaging in a positive karma. Because now there is an action. It is no longer an inaction, right? Oh yeah, now this is clear, right? So positive karma is not just inaction, but there is a positive action, right? Positive action. You are doing something creative. You are doing something productive. You are doing something that is that is constructive, right? That's constructive. That brings goodness to somebody's life. So that then it becomes positive action. Okay. So now we covered the 3 positive actions pertaining to the body, right? Now, for example, not killing but helping someone's life or protecting someone's life, or if you if you give a charity and give food to somebody, that actually sustains that person's body. So this is the opposite of killing someone, right? Instead of making that person's life shorter, you are making that person's life longer. So, so therefore, it's a positive action, right? Instead of killing someone, protecting and helping that person's life, lift that person's life up, or stealing, right? Instead of taking what is not given, instead of stealing from someone, you practice generosity by giving. You can give protection to someone. You can give your ear to someone, listen to what their problem is, or you can give your presence. You don't have to do anything. You don't have to say anything. You don't have to give any of your wealth. You just be there for someone, right? Giving your presence. And then for the sexual misconduct, you give up sexual misconduct and instead try to follow the rules of discipline, meaning whatever discipline or morality or ethics, or follow the ethics, and follow the, if you have taken Vajrayana vows, follow or safeguard your samaya, safeguarding your samaya. So these things these things are the opposite of killing, stealing, and sexual misconduct. So therefore, by engaging in these actions, you will be accumulating merit, engaging in positive actions pertaining to the body. Similarly, in the speech, right? Positive actions, positive speech-related actions. You have, in negative, you have lying to someone, then sowing discord, right? Then using harsh words, and then using mindless chatter, or mindless chatter, or useless chatter, or sometimes we call that idle talk, right? Any conversation that doesn't bring any sort of productive result by doing that. So sometimes we do that. Okay, anyway, so the first one is lying, right? Lying. So instead of lying, when you were given the opportunity to lie, right? When you were given the opportunity to lie, refrain from lying, stop lying, and then use truthful words. That is the first one, which is lying. Then sowing discord, right? Sowing discord between two groups. Instead of doing that, bring harmony between two groups. Then that is the positive, the second positive speech action. And the third is harsh words. So when you are faced with the opportunity, or when you are given the chance to use harsh word to someone, abstain from using that, and instead use gentle words. So harsh word does not necessarily mean something, shouting or using a loud voice or things like that. You can be, when you can use very gentle and low voice and be, still use very. If you use a language that is hurtful to someone, then that is a harsh word. So a harsh word does not necessarily have to be very loud or very, something violent or things like that. It can be very soft spoken, but if it is hurtful to someone, then that can be a harsh word. Then the last one is the mindless chatter, right? Mindless chatter. Sometimes we call it idle talk. So as I said earlier, any conversation that is not constructive, right, does not bring any good result. So it doesn't necessarily have to be a spiritual talk, right? If you are doing spiritual talk, that's good. Otherwise, if you are having an educational kind of any conversation that you are having which actually uplifts you, which is makes you a better person in general, broadens your mind, warms your heart, makes you a better person, like that. When you can talk about health issues, right? What is a good diet, what is a good exercise, good workout. That's not a mindless talk, because it actually helps you to become a better person, right? At least physically. And you can talk about makeups and how to look beautiful or how to look handsome. That can also be that necessarily doesn't have to be idle talk, because it actually makes you a better person, at least physically. A mindless, an idle talk or mindless chatter would be basically minding other people's business, so talking about other people's behind them. So when you do that, it doesn't bring any good result, and it's just wasting your time. So that's wasting your time, others' time, and then you create so much negativity amongst people. So, and then it actually leads to the second speech related negative action, which is sowing discord. So you don't want that. So therefore, so instead of engaging in a negative, instead of engaging in idle talk, engage in spiritual talks here. So here it says do some prayer, right? There are some you see some of the great masters, they do recitation all the time. If they have to ask for a cup of tea or some important mundane thing, they just ask for it, and then the whole whole time they're just chanting a mantra or doing some prayer or something like that. So that way you are no longer engaged in sowing discord, no longer engaged in using harsh word, no longer engaged in idle talk and so on and so forth. So no longer engaged in cheating people. If you are doing a mantra, you cannot cheat people, right? So like that. So this is a good advice. So these are so the four actions, four positive actions pertaining to speech. Now the third one, which is the 3 positive actions pertaining to the mind, right? So now again we have to remember, we have to recall the 3 negative actions, because 3 positive actions are the opposites of the 3 negative actions. So the 3 negative actions pertaining to the mind are covetousness, right? Covetousness. Covetousness, just think about being greedy, okay? Covetousness. Then harmful thought, right? And then wrong view. So covetousness means it's basically greed. It's basically greed, and out of the 3 poisons, it's the attachment, right? So you want everything that does not belong to you, right? Someone has a good car, you want that. Someone has a good watch, you want that. There is a nice nice cloth in the shop, you want that. Everything you want, everything for you. So that's great. So it's called covetousness. When you covet, for everything that is not yours, that you don't have, that is covetousness. So for the for the opposite part, the positive side, you have to learn to, renounce, or you have to abstain from craving or wanting everything that you do not have, wanting everything that you do not possess, everything that you do not have, just everything I want for me. So instead for coveting for everything that you don't have or possess, abstain from such thoughts, abandon such thoughts, right? Abandon such thoughts, abort such thoughts, and adopt a thought of generosity. So covetousness, what means everything I want for me, I want for me, right? So in order to counter that, we have to practice others. So giving, generosity, sharing, right? So that is to counter covetous thoughts, right? So that when you counter covetousness by abstaining from being greedy and sharing things with others, that is the first of the 3 mind-related positive actions. Second is harmful thoughts. So like the harmful actions, or harmful, harsh words, which hurts people. Harmful actions like killing and stealing. Just if you have a thought of doing something like that, wanting to kill someone, wanting to harm someone, bring someone down, this kind of thought, these are harmful thoughts. So these has to be abandoned, aborted. Instead, we should adopt a heart or thought of helping people, lifting people, and so on and so forth. So such thoughts will be known as positive actions. The second positive action related to the mind, which is to help others, lift up others. The negative action is to harm others. The positive action is to benefit others. Now the third one is wrong view. So wrong view, as we discussed last time, it basically comes down to 2 things: not believing in the triple gem, right? Oh, Buddha, Dharma, Sangha, this is, it's just someone made up thing. It's just a game that people, the monks are playing on you or something like that. So I don't believe in the Buddha. I don't believe in the Dharma. I don't believe in the Sangha. I also don't believe in karma, right? The concept of karma. Even if there are so many people who do good things in this world, including myself, I've been doing so many good things, and I am experiencing so much suffering. There are so many bad people, doing so many bad things that I know, my friends, and then very famous people doing so many bad things, but they are enjoying a very good life. So that tells us that karma does not exist, right? So if you have such thoughts, that is actually a wrong view. If you stop believing in karma, if you absolutely abandon the idea of karma, and then if you give up on the triple gem, then that is a wrong view. Yeah, it's a wrong view from a Buddhist perspective. If you do that, then you are engaging in the third negative karma pertaining to the mind. So instead, abstain from these thoughts and engage in learning about the Dharma, thinking about emptiness, thinking about the functions of karma, thinking about the kindness of the triple gem, and so on and so forth. This is the positive karma, positive action pertaining to the mind. Yeah. Now, if you remember from from the previous week's class, there is the effect, right? So the karma, we usually talk about karma as the law of causality, right? Cause and effect, cause and effect. Karma is the cause, comes first, and then there is the effect, there's the result, right? So for the effect, there are different kinds of effect. Effects, the full ripening effect. The full ripening effect meaning what will be the form of effect when it's fully ripened. And then we have the effect similar to the cause in experience, effect similar to the cause in performance or in action, I think. Yeah, effect similar to the cause in action, effect similar to the cause in experience, and the conditioning effect and the proliferating effect, right? So the fully ripened effect of the positive action is that you'll be born in the three higher realms, yeah, in the God realm, demigod realm, and the human realms, or you will enjoy the experiences, joyful experiences similar to those realms, yeah. The effect similar to the cause and action is that you take pleasure in doing such good things in your following subsequent lives. So because you did a lot of good karma, you are inclined to do more good karma. Just like in the previous lesson, because you do many negative things, you are inclined to do more negative things. Because you kill someone, you have the tendency to kill more. Because you save someone, you enjoy. There are a lot of people who engage in generosity, giving, and then they really like it and then do more, right? So when you engage in a positive action, the effect similar to the cause and action is that you tend to do more of that. Yeah, that is similar to the cause and action. And the effect similar to the cause and experience is that by giving up taking life, by giving up killing, because killing is about shortening other people's life. So because you give up killing, your life will be lengthened. By giving up stealing, your possessions will be safe, not stolen, right? And then by giving up sexual misconduct, you will have attractive partners and more friends and fewer enemies. By renouncing lies, you will have praise and good, people will say good thing about you. By giving up sowing discord, you will have a lot of friends, trustworthy friends, not fair weather friends, but trustworthy friends. By giving up harsh words, you will hear people saying good things about you. By giving up mindless chatter, people will listen to you. People will heed to your talk. But there are many people who, when they say something, nobody pays attention to them. These people have been doing, that's the result of doing sowing discord. Mindless chatter, idle talk in their previous lives, and by abandoning covetousness, your wishes will come true. Some people pray a lot, but their wish don't come true. That's because they're always, greedy. Then, by giving up harmful thoughts, you will be free from harm. By giving up wrong views, you will have a faster and better and swifter understanding, emptiness and reality of phenomena. The conditioning effect, for that matter, is the opposite of the negative effect. So by doing negative things, the conditioning effect is that you are born in a war-like place, a place where there is a famine, right? No food, things like that. But by engaging in positive karma, the opposite, you are born in a place where there's a lot of things, good things happening around you. And the proliferating effect is that whatever good action you did, it will be multiplied day by day, moment by moment. So after this, I will open up for Q&A, so you can prepare your questions. So before the Q&A, I will say one thing. So that is, so anybody can practice this, of course, engaging in positive karma, right? But if you feel like engaging in the keeping the upholding the 10 positive actions is so difficult, you can always pick and choose. And the more you pick, the more of the positive actions you uphold and engage in, of course, there will be more positive results, positive effects. But still, you can. So, for example, like killing, right? If you are engaging in killing beings, like let's say you are a butcher, and you can't stop killing, because if you stop killing, then your livelihood depends on killing, right? So in that matter, you can actually take a commitment. So positive action means you have to take an action, just because inaction is not an action, right? Inaction from negative things is not a positive action. So positive action means you have to do something. So for example, if your livelihood depends on killing, just an example, because killing is the most heinous crime most heinous negative action of all. So so instead of, so if your livelihood depends on killing, let's say buffaloes, or then you can make a commitment by saying, I will not kill any bears, I will not kill any fishes, I will not kill any monkeys or things like that. So that way, you can, even though you have to kill sentient beings, even though your livelihood depends on killing beings, you are abstaining. You made a commitment and abstain an active, a conscious decision, right, to take action in not a conscious decision to take action in renouncing or avoiding negative actions of killing everything other than ox. If you are a butcher that sells ox meat, then anything other than ox I will not kill. So you make a firm decision, firm sort of commitment, and then keep that. That way you will accumulate merit, right? You will be accumulating merit of not killing. So your result will not be completely a fully ripened effect of the giving a complete positive action of not killing, but it is like 95% or something like that. So you get my meaning. So the same can be applied with any other negative actions. One practice was done by many. One practice was proposed by in Tibet by a great Lama. So there was a butcher who has to depend on killing. So the Lama told him, as a butcher you have to kill, right? So and he can't stop doing that. So the Lama told him, okay, make a commitment of not engaging in any killing during the night. So it seems so simple. It seems like a child's game, child's play. But at the same time, it has a very strong effect on your mind, right? So you abstain from killing. So every night as you every time every day as you goes to sleep in the night, you would make a commitment saying, okay, I will not kill tonight. I will not kill tonight. I will not kill tonight. And gradually, it has such a strong effect on his mind, and then he was able to stop killing during the day and night both. And of course, he sought living a livelihood from another source. So these things can be done. Okay. Okay. Q&A, please.
We have a couple of questions today. I'm going to read the first one.
Sure.
Dear Rumijela, if I repeat a negative fact to someone who was not at the event, would it consider a wrong thing to say or do? Thank you, Rumijela.
Yeah. So, okay, let me try to get it correctly, right? So if you repeat a fact to someone when that person is not there, so by fact, if you mean, okay, if you know for a fact that person has done something negative, and as like in an organization or something, and it is necessary for the constructive growth of the organization or the company or that organization, then of course you can say that to another person as a fact, right? As a matter of fact, as if something is factually correct. But if it's when we are just spicing things up, right? Telling something. Sometimes we just like to engage in that kind of gossiping, right? Somebody might have done something little mistake, and then you don't like that person, and then you add up things. So if it is that kind of thing, just to relieve yourself or just to get something back and get back at someone, then that is not factually correct, right? So if you do that, then whether that person is with you or in presence in front of you, or whether you are doing it behind that someone's presence, it doesn't matter. It's a negative action no matter what. But if you are making a constructive criticism of someone, that is not a bad thing. That is actually very much encouraged. So if you are very sure that someone is doing something wrong, and by reporting that thing to someone, we can develop the organization in which we are all part of, that society in which we are part of, then you should do it. Yeah. So constructive criticism and gossiping are different things. Yeah. Gossiping and vainly saying negative things about someone behind their back. That is different. Next, please.
Sorry, I was on mute. Rumijela, I was told today that there are two types of angers: positive aspects of anger and negative aspect of anger. Are both type of angers create equal negative karmas? Don't know if it makes any sense.
Yeah. So so this is the thing. I don't know about a positive karma and positive anger and a negative anger, but there is something called a type of methodology, a method to use anger in a positive way and in a negative way. Usually in the Sutrayana, anger is always bad, always negative, to be abandoned, right? But in the Tantrayana, or Tantrayana meaning Buddhist tantric practices, Vajrayana, let's call it that way. In the Vajrayana practices, anger can be utilized to gain anger can be utilized to attain positive results. So in Chantrayana, you will see a lot of deities. If you are familiar with Vajrayana Tibetan Vajrayana Buddhism, you will see a lot of deities that are in a wrathful uh, uh, manner. So to put it simply, to make it simple to understand, when you are angry, usually when we become angry, we become very strong, right? When people whom we dare not fight with in a normal circumstances, if we get very angry, if we are abused or manipulated for such a very long time, then we become so angry and we can fight with people that are much stronger and much bigger than us. So anger has that kind of strength. So in tantric practices, in Vajrayana practices, we use not the harmful aspect of the anger, but the strength that anger gives for the person to become powerful. That particular potential of anger is utilized. So there are no good anger and bad anger, or positive and negative anger, but anger can be utilized in a positive way or negative way. That can be done.
That's all the questions for today, Rumichala. Oh, hang on. One more question, I think. Rumichala, what about not doing the gossiping, but listening to the gossiping? Is it also bad?
Mm. Yeah, listening to gossiping is not, creating. It's not same as engaging in gossiping. So I mean, like, just by listening to gossiping, if you're not adding fuel, if you're not adding fuel to the fire, then you won't be accumulating the negative consequences of engaging in idle talk, right? So there will be no negative karma due to your actions, but you will be wasting your time anyway. Yeah, so you are just wasting your time. You are doing nothing negative, right? You are not accumulating any negative karma, but you are wasting your time, because this is my experience. When I listen to gossiping, when I listen to other people saying bad thing about other people, my peace of mind also gets lost, right? That's why I don't want to listen to gossip. So that's my take, yeah. But yeah, for some people, gossiping is a form of relief, is a form of relaxation. By engaging in gossiping, you gain some sort of happiness. So yeah, if you do not gossip yourself and just listen to gossiping, that does not accumulate negative karma. Okay,
I think
is
that's
that
all the
it?
questions. Yes, Rumichala.
Um,
There's no more questions.
that's all the questions?
That's correct.
Okay. All right. Thank you everyone for your kind attention. And really appreciate all of you watching through Blue Jeans, Facebook, the one for showing interest in the Dharma, paying attention to the Buddha's teachings. Really hope, pray that it brings a positive change to your lives. Let's now dedicate a meditate accumulated today, engaging in this rituals action. Yeah. Okay. 夜晚夜夜又多，绕外街间马路，夜夜上了，想着想着想不，夜马的马夜，夜外娘把那我那你那。 Yeme